Yo, what's up everybody? In this video, I'm going to talk through my showdown picks, give you guys some builds I like for the showdown slate for Game 5 tonight of the Raptors and Bucks series. So very shocking that the Raptors were able to tie the series up after how dominant the Bucks looked the first two games, but that is a testament to how dominant both of these home crowds are and how just favorable they make the home team. So the way that the Raptors fed off the home crowd the last two games, I expect the Bucks to feed off their home crowd today in this Game 5. That's why I like the Bucks to win this one. But starting off at captain, with both Giannis and Kawhi being so closely priced, with this game being in Milwaukee, I'm going to play Giannis. His team is down. His team has now lost the last two games. Giannis hasn't played great the last 2 days. Hasn't been super dominant at all. I expect him to once again be dominant just like he was the first two games in Milwaukee. They're going to play him a lot of minutes tonight. They're going to try to get the win. So instead of playing like 34 to 35 minutes, he's probably going to play like 38 to 40 minutes today, I would expect, and keep up with Kawhi Leonard's minutes. So he's going to be my favorite captain. Can't really talk me into playing any other guy captain except for Norman Powell here at 4,400 if he gets, since he's going to play good minutes. But I think Giannis is the best captain by far. You always want to get the guy that's going to score most points at captain for the most part, unless you have like a really cheap value play. Right, so with this being Game 5, with the way Kawhi Leonard's looked the last couple games, he looks like he's being bothered by leg injury. Last game, he looked like he was being bothered by leg injury. Only had 19 points. So if you want to get really sneaky, you could fade Kawhi today. Now, if you're just looking at min cash, then you want to play Kawhi, right? But if you're looking to try to take down some GPPs, only have a couple of games left to really do it before the season's over, right? Then fading like a 60 or 70% Kawhi is probably going to be a way to not tie with thousands of people. So he's 11-4. He got 12 of his 40 DraftKings points came off of blocks and steals. So if he has a bad game in that category, last game he would have only had like 30 something DraftKings points. So Kawhi Leonard is definitely fadeable, and the reason why is because his teammates have finally started to step up. The first couple games against the Sixers series, none of his teammates stepped up for the most part. So Kawhi Leonard had to continue to chuck every single time, and the offense just went through him every time. But this last couple games, the other guys have stepped up for the Raptors. Like Kyle Lowry stepped up last game with 25 points. And finally, Gasol stepped up these last two games where he put up 16 and 17 points. And the big reason why is because of Norman Powell. With him playing 30 minutes and him playing alongside Kawhi for long stretches of the game, he's not afraid to shoot. 13 and 18 shots his last two games. He continues to chuck. He's not a guy like Danny Green who just stands in the corner and does absolutely nothing for like 40 minutes and only takes like 5 shots. Like Norman Powell's going to want the ball and he's going to take shots. That's why you could fade Kawhi, and that's why if this is like a GPP approach for this lineup, if you're playing cash games, play Kawhi. If you're playing GPPs, I have no problem fading him. So if I go with like Chris Middleton, who put up 50 last game on 11 of 15 shooting, so he outscored Kawhi by 10 points, had no blocks or steals. So he's a good defensive player as well a little bit. He can get a couple steals. Like Kawhi got 12 of his points from blocks and steals. He had none of them. And almost had flirted with a triple-double a little bit, like 36 and 7. With how bad Bledsoe's been playing and with how bad some of the other Bucks have shot the ball lately, Middleton can have a huge game, and he's going to be on the court a long time just because they're going to need his offense, right? Like he plays like high 30s in minutes, high 30s. Some of the other Bucks starters play like in the 20s, like Mirotic plays like 25 to 28. Bledsoe's been playing under 30. So Middleton's not one of those guys. He plays a ton of minutes. Him and Giannis really going to play a lot of minutes. So well with both of them. And then if you want to get really sneaky, you could play. Well, first I'm going to show you guys like not to be super sneaky. I'll play like Gasol here at 6,600. With the way he's looked the last couple games, his price tag has been down a bit since his last game, down to 6,600. But he's finally stepped up and looking like he's playing with confidence out there. And he finally realized that he has to be aggressive on offense. And they really made an effort to kind of put the ball in his hands in the half court. Like Kawhi takes it up, throws it to Gasol right around like the free throw line, and he finds the open shooter after dribbling a little bit. So that's why he has 7 assists the last 2 games, and Kawhi Leonard is only averaging like 2.5 assists this series. So yeah, you can definitely play Gasol. Some cheapies I like. Connaughton's going to be really sneaky. at just $1,600, but his price tag is way down, as you can see. He doesn't play a ton of minutes because now that Brogdon's healthy, he's taking a lot of his minutes. But if one of them Bucks are dealing with foul trouble, he could get minutes. Or if this game turns into a blowout, he's going to see some fourth quarter minutes. I have no problem playing Connaughton. But probably George Hill is going to be one of the popular value plays. So he's been really good. Eric Bledsoe has not been good. Only took 2 shots last game, but he was much more aggressive the previous games. So I feel like he's gonna be a decent play at just 3,600. Seems like a lock to get at least 5 to 6x. Right, and then if you're gonna fade Kawhi, you could probably gonna want to go with like Siakam, because you're gonna have to hope one of these other guys can step up and really step up and take some of the scoring load. Siakam only had 7 points last game, but I expect him to bounce back. He's been a lot better at home, so this is a little bit risky playing him in Milwaukee, but I feel like he's gonna step up after a bad game. Like when a player has a bad game, they most likely are gonna step up and work harder, not to have 2 bad games in a row. And he hasn't had like 2 bad games in a row in a while, so I feel like Siakam, during this playoffs at least, I feel like Siakam's in for a good game. And then at 5,000 left, play like Norman Powell at 4,400. So leave 600 on the table. This is a way to be a little sneaky, but if you want to be really, really sneaky, you would fade Gasol because everybody's going to play him right at 6,600. Why wouldn't you play him? Why wouldn't you want to play him after you see 41 and 55? Both of those games were in Toronto, obviously. In Milwaukee, the games in Milwaukee, he absolutely struggled mightily. Shot 1 of 9 and 2 of 11. So was that just a home cooking thing? You're not going to know until after this game's over. But if you want to fade Gasol, then I would probably go with Ibaka. If Gasol's in foul trouble, Ibaka's going to get minutes. If Siakam's in foul trouble, Ibaka's going to get minutes. So Siakam's been in foul trouble in 2 out of the 4 games this series, which is why Ibaka's played 24 and 27 minutes in 2 of the games, and both of those games were when Siakam was in foul trouble. But if somebody's in foul trouble, one of the bigs, Ibaka's going to benefit, and he can get work done in just limited time. We saw that last game. So I feel like not many people are going to play him with his price tag being up to 52, but he's a way to be sneaky. And then if you, I like Siakam here at 8,000. But there was one other guy I really liked. Try to find who it was. Oh, yeah, if I don't want to play George Hill, right, because he's going to be really popular. I expect him to be one of the most popular value plays on Draftkings at 3,600. If you don't want to play him, you could play Bledsoe at 56 and then play Siakam still at 8,000. Reason you would play Bledsoe here is because nobody's going to play him, but he still is going to play like around 30 minutes a game. And I expect him to have at least one good shooting game. I mean, he's matched up against Kyle Lowry. That's a matchup he can have success against. Kyle Lowry's undersized. Bledsoe definitely has a lot more strength than Lowry. Both are about the same height. But Bledsoe continues to be very aggressive on offense. His shot's just not falling. Has a good shooting game. He can easily crush value here, especially with his play on defense with the steals and blocks. So this is a way to be really, really sneaky. But we filled up all the money on the salary. And if you just want to make sure that nobody really has your lineup, you would not fill up the entire cap space. And then if you think Siakam, right, like he can put up like 20 to 40. His variance, his outlook is very spread out. Like you could get like a very low score, very high score. You could play like Marc Gasol and just hope he does better. And maybe if you don't want to play Bledsoe, you could go up to like Brogdon, right? Or you can just keep Bledsoe and just keep $1,400 on the table just for fun, or play like Lopez, somebody. So that's it. Like for DraftKings, kind of broke it all down. FanDuel's pretty much the same story. Like gonna try to fade Kawhi to be different. Leonard here, Middleton, Gasol. And then I like Powell, obviously. 10,000 left. Play either one of these guys. Like you could play Ibaka. Just leave 1,500 on the table to be different. Like Ibaka's gonna get you like 15 to like 30 DraftKings points, I would expect. If you think that Lopez and Mirotic are not going to be able to get that same result, then you would just play Ibaka and hope he has a couple, like one DraftKings point more than him. You're ahead of like thousands of people, because most people are probably going to do something like this. And then, well, you can't really do much if you're going to play Powell. But yeah, like something like this. Right? Or if you want to, I like Gasol a lot though at 12K though. you can play Lowry, right? If you think Gasol was just good, just because it was in Toronto, play Lowry at 11-1. He was good in the first game against Milwaukee, so he can play good on the road too. And then you could go with play like a 11K guy down here with like Brogdon. I like this a little bit. So Brogdon just had a bad shooting game, 2 of 11. I expect him to bounce back. After the way he's been shooting this series, just had a bad shooting game. But now that it's at home, I expect him to play well. So you could do something like this. And then if you want to get really, really, really sneaky, you would play Powell over Kyle Lowry in the multiplier spot and just hope that Powell scores like 35 Draftkings points and hope that Kyle Lowry scores like 32 Draftkings points. And it's been done. Like Powell outscored Lowry in the May 19th game. So yeah, I'm just showing you guys ways to be different if you don't want to tie with thousands of people and just split like $100 to first place. But that's it for the video. Those are Fanduel and Draftkings. I mean, I will probably just go with Lowry here just so it makes a little more sense, because I still think this is going to be pretty sneaky enough, even if you do play Kyle Lowry here in the multiplier, just because you don't have Kawhi in there, and I expect him to be like 70% owned probably, on FanDuel at least. But that's it for the video. Those are FanDuel and DraftKings. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and good luck today.